Joy Reid's tenure as a prominent MSNBC host came to an end in February 2025 with the cancellation of her primetime show, The Ride Out, a decision that capped a career marked by both significant achievements and persistent controversies. Her past performance spanning over a decade at the network reflected a mix of sharp political commentary, a loyal audience, and polarizing moments that ultimately contributed to her show's demise amid declining viewership and a broader network shakeup. Reid's rise at MSNBC began in earnest when she joined the network as a contributor in 2011, eventually hosting The Reid Report in 2014. That daytime program, however, struggled with ratings and was cancelled in 2015 after just a year, transitioning her into a national correspondent role. Undeterred, Reid returned to hosting with AM Joy, a weekend morning show that debuted in 2016. This program found a stronger footing, averaging nearly 1 million viewers weekly by 2018 and establishing her as a key voice in progressive media. Her incisive critiques of conservative politics, particularly her unrelenting opposition to Donald Trump, resonated with MSNBC's left-leaning audience and propelled her to greater prominence. In July 2020, she took over the PM ED slot vacated by Chris Matthews' Hardball, launching The Ride Out and becoming the first Black woman to anchor a primetime cable news show, a historic milestone that amplified her influence. However, Reid's past performance was not without turbulence. A major scandal erupted in 2018 when old blog posts from her now-defunct site, The Reid Report, active in the mid to late 2000s, resurfaced. These writings contained homophobic remarks, including mocking then Florida Governor Charlie Crist as Miss Charlie, speculating about his sexuality, and expressing discomfort with gay themes in films like Brokeback Mountain. Initially, Reid claimed the posts were fabricated by hackers, a defense that unraveled when no evidence of tampering emerged. She later issued apologies, first distancing herself from the content. "I genuinely do not believe I wrote those hateful things," before fully owning them in a more sincere mea culpa. "There are things I deeply regret and am embarrassed by." MSNBC stood by her, citing her growth over the years, but the episode damaged her credibility and left a lingering stain, particularly among viewers and advocacy groups like Flag, which withdrew an award offer. On air, Reid's style was defined by bold, often provocative commentary. She thrived on confrontation, delivering blistering takedowns of Trump and his supporters, which earned her a devoted following but also intense backlash. Her rhetoric occasionally veered into hyperbole, comparing Trump's policies to the Holocaust or labeling his transition to power as the most violent in U.S. history, drawing criticism for sensationalism. Following the 2024 election, she alienated some by suggesting Black women were done saving America after white female voters backed Trump, a statement that fueled perceptions of divisiveness. These moments, while galvanizing for her base, likely narrowed her appeal as MSNBC faced a shifting media landscape post-Trump's re-election. Viewership trends underscored the challenges. The Ride Out enjoyed early success, but by February 2025, ratings had plummeted, averaging 973,000 total viewers compared to 1.3 million the previous year, a 28% drop. This decline mirrored a broader 53% primetime slump for MSNBC after the 2024 election, as progressive audiences waned in a conservative-leaning cycle. Reid's controversies, coupled with a perceived lack of adaptability, made her a liability as new president Rebecca Cutler sought to refresh the network's lineup. Her cancellation, announced on February 23, 2025, saw The Ride Out replaced by a panel show featuring Simone Sanders Townsend, Alicia Menendez, and Michael Steele, signaling a pivot away from solo-hosted opinion formats. Reid's past performance thus tells a story of resilience marred by self-inflicted wounds and an inability to sustain broad appeal. Her trailblazing presence as a Black woman in cable news, her authorship of 3 political books, and her two 2025 Knock Image Awards highlight a legacy of impact. Yet, the unresolved baggage of her blog scandal, her polarizing on-air persona, and a failure to reverse ratings erosion ultimately led to her exit, closing a chapter defined as much by controversy as by contribution.